Does this look like a government program that is saving lives? Or does it look more like hell on earth? Now, the video you just saw was from inside a downtown Vancouver homeless shelter. There are people overdosing, women screaming, people are passed out lying in their food, and God knows what else. But what's most notable about this video is what you don't see. You don't see paramedics trying to keep people alive who are overdosing. You don't see staff trying to prevent people from falling asleep into their own food, or maybe actually preventing people from doing drugs that are going to kill them. This video is going viral right now on social media. It has well over 1 million views on X, and it was filmed by an American journalist who managed to get inside one of these facilities and show the world what is happening to our people, our countrymen. These are Canadians in this video who are being left behind to rot away and die. Does it not feel to you as though we are witnessing some sort of managed decline in our country? An intentional degradation of not just our institutions, like our military and our once lauded healthcare system, but our cities, our infrastructure, and our architecture. And most importantly, a degradation of our people. I don't know about you, but it certainly looks and feels that way from where I'm sitting right now. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video, help us out by subscribing to the True North YouTube channel, stick around for the ratio of the week, and the comment question for the episode is this: why does the government keep pushing so-called safe supply if it is clearly not working? Let me know your answer in the comments below, and let's get into it. We'll take a look at what decriminalizing drugs and completely unregulated safe injection sites have done to Vancouver. This video was posted to social media by American journalist Kevin Dahlgren, who's based on the West Coast and documenting the situation facing homeless people, mostly in his country, but he managed to get this video inside a Vancouver homeless shelter. Take a look. We just got a person doing drugs, what looks like in front of a staff member. And here we go. Oh, it's hard to look at.
Sorry about that.
Want me to do a smoke show? Smoke show time, baby.
So that's just one video of two. The second video has more views, and it just shows you the absolute state of these unregulated, essentially they're drug dens, right? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a place in which Canadians, our people, are being left behind to rot away with drug policies that are facilitating addictions, with drug policies that the government tells us are saving lives, while in fact, they're just basically resulting in the slow and painful death of our own people. It continues.
This is Metallica, remember them?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good band, brother.
How freaky, first of all, is it that they have Metallica's Welcome Home, a song about a man trapped inside of a sanitarium, playing inside of that drug den, inside of an area where our own people are basically being stuck in a cycle of constant addiction. Because everywhere they go in downtown Vancouver, and everywhere they go in Toronto, or in Hamilton, or in Oshawa, or pick your city, everywhere these people are going in our country, the government is facilitating their addictions. They're giving away free crack pipes and heroin kits. Inside a safe injection site, it was the most chaotic environment I have ever been in. People passed out in bowls of cereal, women screaming behind doors guarded by others, overdoses, crying. Staff were nowhere. It was horrifying. Who thinks this is still a good idea? Would love to see an acknowledgement of learning from people pushing for this idea in the first place. I expected something more clinical How is this safe if they're just left to pass out? This is just a shooting gallery. It is hospice, helping them die. Now, what you just saw is sickening. It's a horrifying sight. It's our own people being left behind to rot away. But to the left, and the people running our country, it is a success. This is what winning looks like to Justin Trudeau, the Liberal government, and the people in charge of our major cities. All of them will constantly repeat the line that safe supply saves lives.
First of all, safe consumption sites. There was one when we came into office in 2015. Now there are dozens and dozens and dozens across the country, and they are saving lives significantly.
We are pretty fed up with this fight against evidence-based programs that actually are saving lives. So just stop it and save lives.
Harm reduction saves lives.
The numbers prove that safe supply saved a lot of lives. We're spending money to help people who are sick, and we're providing them an opportunity to safely use because they're using.
What?
You're just not cultured. You're just not educated enough to realize that actually that is saving lives, at least according to the people in charge. Now, what is harm reduction and what is safe supply? Well, for one, that is giving away free crack pipes, crystal meth kits, and needles for addicts to use illegal drugs, but in a safe way. Harm reduction also includes safe injection sites or supervised injection sites where addicts can take the poison that is going to kill them, but do it in front of a staff member so that if they do overdose, a staff member can revive them so they can keep doing what they've been doing, which is causing all these problems to begin with. Safe supply is when the government uses our money to give out hydromorphone, a more potent heroin alternative. Thanks to some reporting by Adam Zivo at the National Post, we know that hydromorphone is being diverted on the street to youth, and addicts are then taking the money they make off of selling the hydromorphone, the free drugs paid for by us, and going to purchase illegal drugs, like fentanyl. The other part of the safe supply ideology being peddled by the British Columbia government, the federal government, and of course, the city of Toronto and other major city governments, is to decriminalize the possession of all hard drugs. Look what they're trying to do in Toronto, which is to decriminalize the possession of all hard drugs of any amount, and anyone of any age would be allowed to carry those hard drugs. This is ravaging our once great cities and destroying an entire generation of Canadians, not just in our big cities, but in our small cities and rural communities as well. Pick a city or town, and I guarantee you it's being ravaged by drug overdoses. It's being destroyed by drugs. Yet there is no solution. The federal government is simply downing their tools and saying to addicts and saying to people, well, listen, we're not going to be able to solve this problem, so we're going to try and hide this problem. We're going to try and put our own people who are dying behind closed doors into these drug dens like we just saw in Vancouver. We're not going to try to stop them from doing drugs. We're going to give them free and clean drug kits for them to safely take the poison that is killing them. Governments will say that law enforcement is wasting resources by trying to stop people from possessing the poison that is killing them. So instead, they're just going to decriminalize possession and let people hold all the illegal drugs and instead really go after the people who are supplying the drugs. Well, how's that working out for you? Because it doesn't look as though it's doing anything. Opioid overdose is now the leading cause of death among BC youth. In fact, in BC, it's getting so out of control that the British Columbia Centre for Substance Abuse has now published protocols allowing doctors to prescribe so-called safe fentanyl to youth. It's not just hydromorphone anymore. Advocates are now trying to get doctors to prescribe fentanyl tablets to youth. I'm sure that will stop these children from eventually ending up in that drug den, right? Now, the managed decline in Canada doesn't stop at drug abuse. Of course, it extends to rampant crime throughout our major urban centers. And as an example of not actually doing anything to solve the problems faced by our people, and instead condition everyone to just accept how we now are supposed to live, look no further than what is happening in Toronto. Auto theft and armed break-ins are now so out of control in Toronto that the police are now just telling people to accept the criminals who are breaking into your house. Don't try to stop them. Don't try to prevent your car from being stolen. Instead, put the key fob in your front hallway for easy access for the criminals who break into your house so they don't have to go ravaging through your home while you're inside so they can find your car. I wish this was a joke, but it's not.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door. Because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns, they're real guns. They're loaded.
That's right, everyone. You will accept that your cities will be taken over by tent villages, by Trudeau towns. You will accept that your own people will be ravaged and destroyed by drugs. You will accept the armed criminals breaking into your house trying to steal your car. You're not allowed to fight back against this stuff. We really need you to just accept it all because we don't have any plans to do anything about it. If that is not managed decline, I don't know what is. All right, Ray's show of the week time. The winner this week is Arif Virani, Canada's Minister of Censorship, who, by the way, wasn't born in Canada and came here as a refugee, but he's just so excited to be the guy who gets to strip away the rights of all of us to criticize his government. What a great way of giving back to a country that gave you and your family refugee status than to be the guy to strip away our freedom of speech. In an effort to try to promote and justify his censorious online harms bill, Arif Virani posted a graphic showing that 80% of Canadians, according to a Toronto Metropolitan University survey, supported an online harms legislation, an online hate speech bill. Something tells me that isn't quite accurate. Online hate crimes rose 130% in Canada over 5 years. It's time to act. Get the facts on our plan to combat hate in Canada. 8 in 10 Canadians apparently want online platforms to give users tools to report illegal content like hate speech or violent content. 2.2 thousand replies to only 137 likes. I thought 80% of Canadians supported this bill. He couldn't get more than 137 likes on this? That's pretty pathetic. Well, Zachary Tisdale writes, hate is code for anti-communism. Put it to a nationwide referendum. Yeah, see how that works out for you, Arif. See how us Canadians take your hate speech legislation. This person just writes, you are terrifying. I don't know, something tells me that some of these guys kind of like the idea of being terrifying. It fits with their persona, doesn't it? Well, it looks as though we got some candidates here for the hate speech gulag, and I might be one of them myself. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for us this week on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Harrison Faulkner, and this is Ratio.